So the Honor Magic 7 Pro has been out for almost a year, and with the Magic 8 Pro just around the corner, I thought it would be a good time to look back and share what it's actually been like living with this phone long term. I mean, I say long term, I've been using it on and off for the last couple of months, so here are just my quick, honest thoughts on the Honor Magic 7 Pro, and if you should still buy it almost a year later. So let's start with this design, because even after a year, unsurprisingly, the Honor Magic 7 Pro still looks and feels like a flagship. The Magic 7 Pro's got that curved AMOLED display, 6.8 inches, 120Hz and around 1.5K resolution, and even now it's a beautiful panel. Colours still pop, brightness is solid outdoors, and the curves, they're pretty subtle and they're not for everyone, but I've actually come to like them. It just gives that phone that slightly premium look. And the build quality, of course, still premium. There's no chips or scratches to the frame, and it hasn't aged badly at all, which is something you can't say about every glass-backed phone. Overall, the design of the Honor Magic 7 Pro, like I said, is about as flagship as what you'd find. It's a really sturdy, well-built phone. It is slightly wider than a lot of the other phones that I've used, so it can feel bigger in the hands than other flagship phones that I've used. But overall, I really like the design of the Honor Magic 7 Pro. You've got a pretty big camera island on the back, which of course I'll get more into in a minute, which can attract smudges and stuff like that, which you do have to buffer every so often. But yeah, overall, the design and the build quality of the Honor Magic 7 Pro, unsurprisingly, is about as flagship as what you'd expect. The curves from that display, like I said, it's not the most curved display on the market, but it is still a really nice premium panel, plenty bright enough outdoors. Bezels are really slim, just an overall pleasant experience with the display of the Honor Magic 7 Pro. You've got that cutout in the top with your selfie cameras, which again, I will get into in a bit. And then you've got that fast 120Hz refresh rate, which just makes the overall experience really pleasant. It doesn't skip a beat and it doesn't skimp on any of the specs when it comes to that display. And under the hood, unsurprisingly, you still get flagship performance despite the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 imminent, basically, with a lot of the newer flagships that are coming. The regular Snapdragon 8 Elite in the Honor Magic 7 Pro is still an absolute powerhouse. You've got zero stutters with literally anything that I've been doing on this phone, unsurprisingly. So you won't be compromising on performance if you do pick this Magic 7 Pro over the 8 Pro, which will be coming with that 8 Elite Gen 5. Overall, performance is absolutely flawless. It will give you great performance in 3, 4, potentially 5 years down the line, which is of course what you want from your processors, from your phone. If you are looking at keeping your phone for that length of time, you do also get up to 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage as well. So plenty of RAM, plenty of storage for all your media, your games, your photos, all that sort of stuff. And then of course, playing games and stuff like that is absolutely buttery smooth, unsurprisingly. Although I'm not a massive gamer, but the ones that I have been playing have been absolutely flawless. Bit of Asphalt 9, Need for Speed, that's about as far as I go. But if you're someone that does, I don't know, what are the other ones? Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, all these ones that take up a bajillion gigabytes in storage and have insane graphics, you should be absolutely fine with this phone. And when it comes to the battery life on the Honor Magic 7 Pro, what can I say? Absolutely stellar battery life. Now, despite the fact the phone having a slightly smaller 5270 milliamp hour battery than the 6,000, 6,500 and even 7,000 milliamp hours on some of the more recent phones, this is absolutely plenty to get you through a full day of relatively moderate use. I suppose even slightly more intense use, you'll get a full day, not a problem. If you're a light user, you'll get 2 days, no problem whatsoever. If you follow me on Instagram or Threads or anything like that, if you don't, be sure to do that. I do post regular bits and bobs of all the phones that I'm using. And when it comes to the battery life on the Honor Magic 7 Pro, absolutely wicked battery life. You do get 100-watt wireless charging support, of course, with a compatible charger, which is enough to get you from 0 to 100% in just 30 minutes. Absolutely great. And even supports 80-watt wireless charging, again, with a compatible wireless charger, and that will get you up to 100% in around 45 minutes. You've also got reverse wireless charging, reverse wire charging, all those bits if you want to charge some of your accessories or you want to help out a friend if they're a little bit low on juice. So Battery life, overall experience with the Honor Magic 7 Pro, absolutely fine, despite being a slightly smaller battery, at least in Europe. The global one, or in other markets, you get things of 5800, something like that. But overall, this is still a plenty big enough battery, and I've not had any problems with it whatsoever. Now, let's talk the cameras, because for the most part, this is definitely still one of the best features of the Honor Magic 7 Pro. Packed with a 50 megapixel variable aperture 1.4 to f2.0 aperture lens and optical image stabilization. You get a 50 megapixel f2.0 ultra wide and then a massive 200 megapixel f2.6 periscope telephoto lens, also with optical image stabilization and 3x optical zoom. You can punch in to up to 100 times digital zoom. Now, some of the results are okay. I wouldn't really recommend using it that often, but it's nice that the option is there. Let's have a look at some photos. Overall daylight shots from the Magic 7 Pro look absolutely awesome. Plenty of detail, loads of nice natural color, although some of the images can come out a little bit more saturated than what I would prefer in my taste, but overall a really great main camera. Ultra wide shots are great as well. There's nice smooth transition when you're switching between lenses, and the color doesn't deviate too much when you're flipping to that lens. It is a narrower f2.6 aperture, so naturally in lower light situations you will see a bit of a dip in quality compared to that main camera. And then of course you've got that 3x optical zoom from that 200 megapixel sensor, which like I said can go all the way to 100 times zoom. Again, wouldn't necessarily recommend it too much, but the option is still there if you really want to use that feature. And then you can also get video topping out at 4K at 60 FPS, and this is some really great quality video. Naturally, not on par with iPhones and to a certain extent Samsung and Google, but it's some still really great video quality, great for shooting home movies of your kids and your pets and all that sort of stuff. Just wouldn't necessarily expect the best quality video on the market. And then you also get a 50 megapixel f2.0 selfie camera with a 3D time of flight depth sensor, which also sorts out your biometrics for your Face ID, but that does help with portrait photography, producing some really nice photos with good subject separation. Overall, a really nice selfie camera. And you also get 4K video support from this 50 megapixel selfie camera. This is 1080p at 60 FPS. Let me know what the quality is like. I'm not outside, it's a sort of ambient lighting room. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this video. And when it comes to software on the Honor Magic 7 Pro, you get Magic OS 9 on top of Android 15. It is due to get a Magic OS 10 and Android 16 update. Haven't quite got that on mine just yet. And the phone does get 7 years of overall software support with major updates and security patches. So if you buy it now, you get at least another 6 years of updates on this phone, which is actually really great. Can't really complain too much about that update cycle. But overall, with Magic OS, it's just like using any other Honor phone that you may have used in the past. Plenty of customization options with themes and wallpapers, and then you do get a suite of AI features as well when it comes to editing your photos and all that sort of stuff as well. There's plenty of Magic OS tips and tutorial videos online on YouTube if you want to go and check those out as well. But personally for me, Magic OS is one of my favorite software skins. Apart from One UI, I do really like One UI as well. Not so much stock Android, but yeah, Magic OS, One UI, they're kind of two of my favorite software skins to use. Overall, like I said, can't really complain too much on Magic OS, and like I said, you get those software updates, which is great for down the line. And just a few other extra features on the Magic 7 Pro that just help to make it a more flagship experience. And oh, earlier I said that there was up to 512 gigs of storage. There is a model with up to 1 terabyte of storage. Now, I don't know if that's in every market, but that's just something to bear in mind. And it is UFS 4.0 storage as well. So really fast storage. Yeah, great. You get full IP68 and IP69 water and dust resistance on the Honor Magic 7 Pro. You get some really nice quality stereo speakers, Bluetooth 5.4, NFC, and Wi-Fi 7 support. So the question is, should you pick yourself up an Honor Magic 7 Pro, or should you just go for the Magic 8 Pro when that arrives? Now, if you find one cheap enough, it's certainly worth picking up a Magic 7 Pro. Directly on Honor's website, it's still about 1100 quid, but if you have a look around on eBay, I don't know if you can see that, 539 quid for a very good condition Magic 7 Pro. That's a really great price. And you're still getting a flagship phone through and through in all of the key areas. Really great performance, cameras that do a solid job, and the design that screams a flagship, no doubt. Now, of course, reasons to wait for the Honor Magic 8 Pro naturally come with improved performance. If you're the type of person that wants the latest and greatest, certainly wait for that one, get that better performance and that extra year of software support. But I don't know. I think the Magic 7 Pro just seems like a really good deal. About 500 quid is about the cost that you'll find a new Honor 400 Pro, and this is just a much better phone overall than this Honor 400 Pro. This isn't bad, don't get it wrong, this is not a bad phone, but if you can get this for similar money that you can buy a brand new Honor 400 Pro, definitely go for the Magic 7 Pro. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Honor Magic 7 Pro. Now, if you have one of these phones, let me know how it's treating you down in the comments. I'd really be interested to know, or if you're considering picking up a Magic 8 Pro. If you enjoyed this video, definitely get a subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more videos on the way with some interesting new flagships potentially. So if you're interested in seeing that, drop a subscribe, and more budget bits and bobs as per usual. So thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one.